take a look at the dollar yen for the upcoming October the 29th session. And again, yesterday, here's those futuristic trend lines we drew. You know, here it is, never got a break or anything above it. Also, here was a futuristic trend line. If it came up to this area, it never did. But one of the trade options that we were waiting for, again, this is why doing your analysis and having your options when it gets to a certain level, you'll know what to do. You can see that we did close below this on the hourly, and then, man, was it a nice little ride down, wasn't it? So this was a good trade. Hopefully, it was something you were able to see, also to take advantage of. But let's bump this up again. Just as a reminder, we wanted to show you those lines, that none of those futuristic lines got hit. Now let's take a look at the lines that we currently have on the chart, right? We're down here at some really unusual kind of levels, let's call it, with some major support and resistance coming down at these levels. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw these lines so that we have an idea of what's going on, right? So these are future targets out here on the 4-hour, even the daily chart. We'll take a look at that. You'll see them on the daily chart. Really good points there. And there's a lot. The MACD is still bullish. We're in a little bit of a retracement. Now, let's go down to the 1-hour and see if there's any kind of trade that we're going to be looking for. And to be honest with you right now, there's not much of a trade, right? You can see right now in the point in time we're talking about, the hourly candles breaking below this support level, right, from the day that first part of Asia has it consolidated just a little bit, and now it's closing below that. So this is going to take, most likely, because this candle's got another 40 minutes to go, for you folks, it's going to take this trade out due to the time that we're actually creating the video. But there is going to be a buy scenario to keep on your watch, and that's going to be this trend line that's coming down here. Very, very steep trend line. Now, what you need to remember about trend lines that are steep is the market does not like that. They like a smooth, strong, average, general sloping, 45-degree or less kind of trend line. And this is fairly steep that's happening here. So really, the only trade we're going to be looking for on the dollar yen for the upcoming session is a close above this trend line here on a 1-hour chart, and then we'd be looking to go long. Other than that, due to the formation of what's currently happening and the delivery time to you folks, we're not going to have any sell opportunities that we currently see setting up on the charts. So that's going to be a wrap for what we're looking for in the October the 29th session on the dollar yen. Let's take a look at the pound dollar for the upcoming October the 29th session. And you can see it was just an up and down day yesterday, up and down day. And we took a little bit of a beating on the pound dollar, not bad. And you can see, again, really strong consolidation. And you can see there's a very nice 4-hour trend line in here. And we're going to extend that out when we get down to the 1-hour chart a little bit. And when we get just a strong blip below it like that, we still keep the general slope of that trend line in place, as to us that becomes the more significant. We don't always try and find the lowest point, the dip like that, that you see right here on the 1-hour chart. But let's leave it and talk about a little bit what happened yesterday. You could say if we were looking for something that happened here on the downside, we were looking for a buy. So remember, we were looking at this area right here, and we had that 1-hour close below. And we came very close to funding. When we had this move in our direction, right almost to the funding level, I think we came within 2 or 3 pips of actually funding. And then over the course of the couple hours, we ended up taking a small loss because it came right back up and closed inside of that channel. We had moved our stop down to a little bit beyond break even. I think we ended up taking about a 9-10 pip stop on there. So stop out to the negative, not to the positive, to the negative, just to make sure that we're there. And then it completely turned around on us, right? So if you'll see that we took a stop out, and remember how we talk about drawing some trend lines in the future, and you know, here was whoops, let's delete that. We'll delete those other ones. That one didn't work out. We're going to kind of move this up and help you to see something here. This is what we're talking about when we see something in the future and we extend that. There's that trend line that came in the future. After closing back in, it closed back up above here. And then as you can see, you get back in on this trend line. Remember, we always talk about taking some money off the table. If we get in on a trend line break that's within a consolidation up at the other resistance level, right? We are always telling you that. And this is an excellent example of why to do that. Again, we started it, we've been trying to stress to you what candles look like after they're created and while they're in development. This was a very bullish candle at one time right here. And after it was created, right, after it was completed the hour, sucked right back in. So this is really important, this concept, folks. I cannot stress it enough. Sometimes I get some emails, people saying, well, I just on the break, five points or 5 pips on the other side of the line. I'm like, good luck to you. You know, you're one of those people that's getting killed. Because if you go through and you look at about 90% of the trades where price breaks out of a horizontal, again, this is horizontal straight across support and resistance, not trend line. Let's be clear about that. Not trend line, but horizontal support and resistance. When you see it break above that during that current candle, right, you cannot say that it's guaranteed of staying on the other side until it's closed, and here it did not. So we got in on this candle right here, right? This is the candle you would get in on. You're going to fund here 50 some pips, which makes up for that small loss, right? And you have some, at that point, you would be moving up your stop some. It came back, and then it came back all the way and stopped us out on the remaining 30% of our position for break even. So we made money on 70% of the position for 50, what was that, 50 some pips. We never follow the numbers. I know that sounds crazy, but you don't ever follow the numbers. That way you don't get all wrapped up in the psychology, but about 50 pips. So you just set the targets and limits. So that's really, really important. Wanted to stress that. A little bit of review from yesterday, so hopefully that's beneficial and gives you an idea why we talk about when price holds at a certain level or comes back in. But as you can see, we're going to draw this trend line here, and we're right back on it. MACD is still neutral, so we're still looking for a good move to come, right? And you know what's going to happen is if I don't, let me click on all these, I don't want to lose them, right? Because these are our lines from yesterday as well. I'm going to just click on this one to lose it. And there's that strong trend line that we had coming down through here on the upside. Right now, still very, very, very narrow range, right? Narrowing range. Well, I'm starting to talk like Elmer Fudd today, folks. Sorry about that. When you get this narrowing range, you need to do two adjustments to your profit taking. You need to be a lot more aggressive in the pip move, right? So maybe you're funding in the 20, 25 pip moves. It's about making money. You fund that. Maybe you're going to be funding 80% of that range, 70%, you know, like we did. We saw this very narrowing range, 70%. Majority of the position came off. It's important to remember that. So really the trades we're going to be watching for over the next couple sessions are if we get a close below this level right here, because the euro has also continued down, the pound is not at this point. If we get a close below this on an hourly chart at least, we're going to be looking for a sell, okay? And any kind of close above this trend line here on a 30-minute, we're going to look for a buy. Again, take some profit and then let it run. Also, right, this is going to be the second buy scenario we're going to watch for. Any close above this resistance level here on a 60-minute, on an upside of it, we'd be looking for a buy. So right now, as you can see, we're in the process of maybe a sell developing. We're about 15 minutes into the hour as we're doing this, so there's another 45 minutes to see what happens. So two buys and one sell we're looking for the pound dollar on the upcoming October the 28th session.